Real talk here, everybody. BetterHelp is probably a scam. All right. Growing up, I had a diagnosis, and I've talked about this before, and I got a lot of therapy. And I can tell you that one of the things about therapy is you have a guarantee of confidentiality. You're seeing somebody who's licensed and certified as either like an ARNP, a licensed clinical social worker, a professional therapist, psychotherapist, etc. Uh, these are certified people, and especially if you're getting any kind of medical diagnosis, you have to go beyond even those people. You would need a psychologist or particularly a psychiatrist to provide you a mental health diagnosis. Now, BetterHelp, in its terms of service, says that they don't have a guarantee of confidentiality. That means they're not under the same legal binding as actual therapists. Your actual therapists and doctors are bound by what are called HIPAA laws, which means that, unless you outright say, I am going to kill a person or I'm going to kill myself, they can't tell anybody what you tell them. BetterHelp's counselors or whatever the fuck they call their employees have no such legal binding. Okay, next is they say they don't actually certify their counselors, and they say it's actually up the responsibility of the user of BetterHelp to know whether or not who they're talking to is actually in any way qualified to help them. It's not good. Another thing they do is they charge you up front. So part of the reason why BetterHelp is sponsoring people like Ethan Klein of H3H3, they're sponsoring Philip DeFranco in particular, Boogie2988, although he canceled his sponsorship or whatever deal with them after hearing about as far as I know, and I'm no legal expert nor am I a medical expert, as far as I know, I would say that BetterHelp is a criminal scam. I have no idea how they're legal. I have no idea how they're allowed to exist. I have no idea how they didn't have any kind of lawyer look at their business and say, you legally cannot fucking do this. As far as I know, and I'm no expert, they're a scam. And there's evidence of some Ponzi scheme-esque stuff going on with their individual sponsorships, like the fact that Boogie2988's individual link linked to Philip DeFranco's company instead of directly to BetterHelp. Meaning that there might be some pyramid scheme-esque shit going on. And there have been some reports saying that people are getting paid up to $200 per fucking referral. So, like, if you get 1,000 of your subscribers to get a BetterHelp subscription, which, their 7-day free trial means that you get one free session and they charge you for a month's or more's worth of sessions after that in all one go, meaning that a lot of people are just automatically getting billed $240 out the gate for that sort of starter package deal. You can pay more than $65 a session for like single individual sessions, or you can pay less than $65 if you pay for a year in advance, which is over $1,000. So it's a pretty lucrative scam. Now, another thing is, I would say from personal experience, the amount of legit help in psychoanalysis that you can get from a therapist by a Skype call or a text message or whatever is extremely limited. Out of all the therapy I had when I was younger, I never once had a therapist agree to do a phone call session more than once every 2 months. And they would pitch a fit about it. And they'd say look, I'm not going to do this because you got to come in. I got to be able to see you. So you have people that you have no guarantee of confidentiality. You don't know if they're real therapists or not. And you're not actually seeing them. And some people are giving glowing reviews to this, whether those are real reviews or not, I don't know. There's some people saying their therapist didn't show up for assigned sessions. There's some people saying their therapist was an asshole. There's some people saying that their therapist gave them medical diagnoses, which is illegal. There's a reason why WebMD and BetterHelp itself has in their terms of service, we're not a diagnostic tool, because you need to be a medical doctor or be a fucking hospital full of medical doctors to diagnose people. It's actually a crime to tell somebody, I hereby diagnose you, when you're not certified to do so. So, honestly, I think BetterHelp is a walking class action lawsuit, just waiting to happen, just waiting, just anvil over Elmer Fudd's head right now. It's some bullshit, as far as I can tell, and I would advise people to steer clear. And I believe certain reputable YouTubers like H3H3 and fucking Philip DeFranco are going to be heavily shamed by this as the debacle unfolds. It's only just sort of getting started, sort of uncovered by the usual suspects of the IBS crowd and Harmful Opinions on the Ralph Tort, Mr. Menaker talking to Boogie about this. I know there's some other people involved who, I'm sorry, I can't give them credit, but look, this is an ongoing fucking scandal. It's way bigger than Candid. This is a huge fucking deal, and what limited experience I have with getting mental health treatment and shit, it is important to go see a professional. It is expensive, and it is true that BetterHelp costs about half as much as a real therapy session with a real therapist. The thing is, they're not a real therapist. They're not bound by confidentiality. They're a scam. Dude, you can't... This is something I cannot believe was even allowed to exist. And I don't know where they got all this money to throw at YouTubers like Philip DeFranco for huge lucrative sponsorship deals. My best guess, it's a guess, legally speaking, it's a guess, it's actually data mining, and they are selling the information you give them, which is disgustingly unethical. So you need to steer clear of BetterHelp, okay? Spread the word. No go. Stop. No.